What is going on? My name is Nick. Welcome to another weekend of Nimmin Live. Today, you're going to notice that something's going on. Something a little bit different is happening right now. And that thing that is happening is, unfortunately, D is not here today. D is actually in bed right now because he has injured his back. So much love to you, D. I hope that you feel better soon. And I also want to say, for the people that are coming into this right now, make sure that you share this out onto Twitter. Let people know that it's happening, because I didn't actually schedule this one because we weren't 100% sure if we were going to go live or not. So make sure that you share this out on Twitter and all of that good stuff to let people know that, hey, it's time to get in here, right? So real quick, I'm going to hop into the chat. And hey, Joseph Andrews, thank you for the for joining the channel membership. I just want to let you know that the Facebook group is now open. Any channel members, make sure that you check the community feed, because the Facebook group is now open. And because of that, you're able to go in there now. Still haven't released the Discord yet, but the Facebook group is in there and ready and good to go. So I'm going to hop in here real quick, and I want to say a big, humongous congratulations to Paul Peck Drywall. Paul Peck, he just crossed 40,000 subscribers like right before we went live. I just went on Twitter to let people know that I was getting ready to go live. And when I saw Paul, I saw his tweet, and he said that he had just crossed 40,000 subscribers. So high five and fist bump to you for that awesome milestone. Always awesome to see people cruising along and making things happen and getting the results that everybody is after here on YouTube. So I'm going to hop in the chat here really quick and just give some shout outs. Let's see here. I know I saw Brioni in here. Yeah, there's Brioni. What is up, Brioni? Nice to see you in here. Practical Mechanic, nice to see you in here as well. Photo Finn. Hey man, I want to give some cred to some props here to Photo Finn. So Photo Finn has been on Twitter, and he's been asking everybody, hey, I'm trying to get my thumbnails better, and I'm trying to, do this and trying to make things better. And I went and looked at his channel, and he's making really, really good content over there, and he's going through all this stuff, trying to learn how all this stuff works. So keep at it, Photo Finn, man. Keep doing your thing. It's awesome to see. We got Brian G. Johnson in the house as well. Brian G. Johnson, normally I would say, hey, this is the guy that wrote Tube Ritual, which he is. And I would also say that, you can get Tube Ritual in the description, which you can, but I don't have anything to actually show you in terms of anything on the screen related to Tube Ritual. But he is the person that wrote Tube Ritual, so you can get it down in the description. It is a book that'll help you take your YouTube channel from 0 to 5,000 subscribers and more. It's down in the description below, so make sure that you go and that you pick that up. So again, if you're just joining us, I want to let you know that my brother D, and I just got this over here right now just for the sake of, when he can't show up, I got to at least have a photo in here, to make us all feel comfortable that that D is, that D is MIA for the moment. So let's just give a hashtag feel better D, since he's having back problems right now. Happened in the studio yesterday, actually, when he was done for the evening. Car Galaxy Studios, what is up, man? Nice to see you in here. Launchpad Astronomy, nice to see you here as well. I'm excited today. I'm pumped up. I'm running a little bit late today just because, we decided on, not streaming over at the studio and all that stuff, and I had to come and get everything set up over here. So a little bit late today, but that doesn't mean that I'm not going to bring as much value or maybe even more than what is normally brought. So a couple things I want to let you know. And the very first is that this stream is brought to you by the kind folks over at TubeBuddy. You can actually see a link to TubeBuddy. Let me get it figured out here right there. But TubeBuddy is the #1 browser plugin for YouTube content creators. It helps you learn how to A/B test it helps you A/B test your thumbnails so you can know which ones work. It helps you get your tags together, helps you search for video ideas, helps you understand what is going on when it comes to actually ranking your videos in search, as well as a whole bunch of other stuff. So you can get that down in the description below. So if you're not a TubeBuddy user, I'm pretty sure, a lot of the people in here are already TubeBuddy users, but if you're not, you can make sure that you grab that down in the description below. All right. So I also want to let you know that I'm going to be pulling questions from the chat, right? As always, I'm going to be pulling questions from the chat, but I'm also going to be pulling questions from the form that is down in the description below. So if you have a question, you're like, hey, I really want this question answered. Right now, there's not a lot of people in there. So if you want a question answered, now's the time to go down there and get that question in there so that you can get in the queue, so that as soon as I start answering questions, then you can be one of the first people to get their question answered. Right now, we only have 12 questions down there. So as soon as that fills up, you know, your question's going to get farther and farther away. So make sure that you go down there and you do that. Go down there and you do that right now. All right, so I see a lot of people tagging me here. Let's see what we've got. We've got Cortisone Music. What is up? Nice to see you in here. Hey, dude, nice connecting yesterday. Yeah, Brian. So Brian and I hopped on a call. It was like 6 in the morning, almost 6 in the morning, and Brian G. Johnson was like, yeah, we were talking on Facebook and just having a conversation, and he was like, hey, you want to hop on a call? I'm like, let's do it. And we hopped on a call. We ended up staying on for a while. But yeah, always good conversations with Brian G. Johnson. He is the man. He's putting out some really good algorithm videos right now. And the way that he explains some of this stuff is just awesome. So if you want to get some insights into all of that, definitely click on his channel name, go over there and make sure you subscribe to him if you haven't already, and watch some of his most recent algorithm stuff. Really, really good stuff. Midnight Madness 4x4. What is up? Nice to see you in here. Ranzo Gaming. What is up? Nice to see you in here as well. Motivation Theory. What is up, man? Nice to see you here also. So a couple things. I'm going to hop into the chat right here in a second, but a couple things that I do want to bring to your attention again is that Paul Peck Drywall Tube hit 40,000 subscribers, so I just want to give him another high five and fist bump for that. I also want to let you know that YouTube also released some news saying that they've added a few more additional, they're working it away, they're whittling away at it, but they also introduced just a few more features inside of the Creator Studio beta inside of the actual navigation. So all it is it's just an additional option to send you back over to the other version. So it's not really that big of a deal, and to be honest, not even really that you know, newsworthy, but you know, I just wanted to let you know. So that's what's going on. So Midnight Madness 4x4 is saying that the Josephine D is not here. Unfortunately, he's actually out with a back injury right now, so he just didn't want to sit there for like 6 hours and all that stuff. It's definitely better for him to be in bed right now, but I'm sure he'll be swinging by for sure. So Midnight Madness 4x4 is saying that the lag is serious. I don't know if you mean in terms of my voice sync with the audio sync. That could be what it is that you mean. I'm not sure, but my apologies for that. Hello, Minnie, saying Brian G is the man. Absolutely, he is, for sure. Josephine, I'm doing fantastic. Thank you. Roger, the expert plumber in the house. What is up, man? Nice to see you in here. So let's see here. Can you check my YouTube channel and my streams? Okay, so right now, let's see here. We're going to show that. Flash in your pan. What's up, man? Nice to see you. Buffering and glitching. Okay, yeah, that's not good. Let me make sure that I don't have anything open that doesn't need to be open right now. Oh, and I just found some stuff that doesn't need to be open, so we will close that down. All right. So yeah, so we'll see. We'll see what happens if it's in sync, but you're skipping. Okay, yeah. So we'll see what happens, and if it keeps doing that, then you know I'll you know, I don't know what I'll do, but you know, we'll just keep on pushing forward the best that we can, and we have our tech to work with. That's all we can do. I'm live now, right? So not a lot of adjustments. I don't have my superhero D here to fix this stuff on the fly. So so we're rolling with what we have. So I'm gonna hop into the forum here, and we're going to get some questions going. And the very first question, and this is a really good question actually. Hold on really quick. I want to see here. The predictor says I got 5.5 thousand subs, 150,000 views on my latest video, and 800,000 total views. Congratulations, predictor. Yeah, man, I saw you posting some of that on Twitter. Fantastic. Absolutely love to see you making progress, man. So Mr. Toxic says, you know what, actually one more thing I want to show you, actually, because I like showing you stuff. So another thing, and I was gonna show this to D today, but you guys actually get to see it before D. So so let me switch cameras here. Actually, we won't. Yeah. We'll switch cameras. Okay. So so basically, I got a care package from TubeBuddy, and I just wanted to say thank you to the kind folks over at TubeBuddy. We've got M&Ms. They sent us 2 bags of M&Ms. You know, we've got a bag for D and a bag for me. Unless they're both for D, that's definitely possible. They sent us 2 of these awesome. I actually made a video about these. You can't see it here. Hold on. They also sent. There we go. 2 buddy like notebook things, which is pretty awesome. And they sent a beverage, a sparkling beverage, but I won't show that. But you grown folks know what it is I'm talking about. So yeah, I just want to say also thank you to the kind folks at TubeBuddy for that. Rodent Watch says, what camera do you use? I really want to know. I want to know because I only have 17 subs. It's an interesting reason to want to know. This camera that you're seeing right here, this camera here is a Logitech Brio webcam. This camera here is a Logitech C922. And I just realized when I held that up that you didn't actually get to see it because the other camera was on. And the main cameras that I use to actually make the videos, one of them is a Canon XF100, and the other camera is a Canon 80D. The XF100, or not XF100, I'm sorry, the Sony A6500 is what it is. We've got Sean Cannell, Think Media in the house. What is up, man? Nice to see you in here. Thank you for swinging by. Always awesome to see everybody swinging in the chat. We got D Nimmin finally in the house. D, man, I hope your back feels better soon. And we have a little memorial screen here for D for not being here today, so that we can still have D a part of the show here today. So D, I hope you feel better soon, man. And take it easy, man. Get that rest. It's important. All right. So what we're going to do is we're going to get into the questions. So I'm going to go ahead and hop into this first one that I started to answer, but then I got distracted with the TubeBuddy stuff and all of that. The little gift package that they had sent. So I just wanted to show that to you and just say thanks publicly for that. Kizza Online says, hey, I love your content. It helps so much. I have a question. Any tips on how to grow a gaming channel, and are YouTube tags important? Okay, Kizza, so a couple things in terms of growing a gaming channel. One thing that you have to think about is you have to think about the actual way that you're going to get people into your channel. So what I mean by that is this. So if you're playing games all the time and you're just playing the game, that's cool. But if you're trying to get some momentum built up, you're trying to get some of those initial views coming in, it's also good to add to the content that you're making some type of content that people are actually looking for, where you're solving problems of some kind so that people can actually have a way to come into your channel. So of course, you're going to be going for stuff to where it's like, hey, watch me play this game or watch me play this game. And you're going to be going for those kinds of things. But if you can solve problems within those games for some of the content that you're making, in addition to just playing the game, then that can be a mechanism to help actually bring people into the channel as well. And then once you get them into the channel, you're showing them how to do all that stuff. And then if you're playing the game, they're obviously interested in that game and all of that. So then you have a good match there. In terms of tags, tags are important on YouTube. They're not the most important. They're actually pretty far down the list. But one thing that I want you to think about when it comes to tags is I want you to think about this. When it comes to YouTube, like, there's a bunch of different factors, right? Like, there's a bunch of different things that are involved with ranking videos and search, and your videos getting suggested next to other videos and things like that. And tags are just one little piece of that puzzle, right? So you have like your audience retention, right? How long people are watching your video. You have how high of a click-through rate you get on your thumbnails, which basically means, how often when your thumbnail gets shown to people, how often do people click on that thumbnail and come in and watch your video? Once they're on your video, how long do they watch? Once they watch, how much engagement are you getting on those videos that they're watching? Are people sharing them? Are people adding them into playlists? Are people giving it thumbs up? Are people giving it thumbs down? Are they commenting? Like, what's going on? And all of those things matter in terms of, helping your videos get discovered. So it's not just the one thing, it's all of the things combined, okay? Crypto Cruising dropping the 5 spot. Thank you, saying get well, D. D's getting the love here in the chat tonight. Brayoni, thank you for the 10 spot, saying, hey, Nick, thank you. Just hit 23,000 subscribers. Boom. High five, fist bump to you also. Love seeing that. Absolutely awesome to see that you hit that milestone. It doesn't look like that's working, so we will change that up. Boom. Okay. Let's see here. I've been putting out videos weekly, wondering about moving up to 2 videos per week, but wondering about what sort of content for a music channel? Any thoughts? Since it's a music channel, since you're doing like, you know, those extended live streams for your music parties and all of that stuff, I would just make sure that it's all, I would just keep putting out music, right? Because that's what people are coming to your channel for. So I would just keep putting out music. So if you're going to do an extra video per week, then if people are coming there for music, then I would definitely make sure that that extra video per week would be another, you know, way for them to come in for music, since that's what the main thing that your channel is based off of. Max Horowitz says, hey, is there a way that you could look at my YouTube streams to see if the audio is good? During this live stream, no, because I actually don't pull up any video content or any audio content during the live streams, just for the simple fact of I'm paranoid just like everybody else on YouTube in terms of like copyright and things like that. So I don't mean that I think, you know, that I'm worried that you're going to strike me, but I don't know the content that's actually in your videos. So because of that, for the safety of my own channel, I can't actually pull that up during a live stream. All right. Pipe Cleaner Crafts B, what is up? You can absolutely ask a question. There's actually a form down in the description below right now. We've got 25 questions in there, so you can ask it here. If I catch it here, then I will answer it, and if not, then hopefully I can catch it in the form, because I'm going to start moving to the form right here in just a second. Un momento, por favor. That's my best. That's all I got. It's the best I can do right there. Okay, so back on Mr. Toxic. Mr. Toxic asks, why isn't my channel getting noticed? So when it comes to getting your channel noticed, there's a handful of things that you have to make sure that you are considering. One, you have to make sure, like I was saying earlier, you have to make sure that that people are actually clicking on your thumbnails. You have to make sure that you're writing good titles. You have to make sure that once they do click on your thumbnails or titles and they're watching your video, that they don't just bail, right? That they watch your video for an extended period of time. And this is extremely important. It's a whole flow of things that happen, right? They see your thumbnail and they see your title and they're like, okay, I want to watch this or I don't. They click on it. If they choose that they do, then they come and they land on your video. And then does the video that they land on, does it match people's expectations? If it does, then they continue to watch that video. And then as long as you can keep them watching that video is a win. And then of course, you know, if you can get them to engage in another way or subscribe or something like that, that's also a win. Now, in terms of your channel just not getting noticed at all, it typically means that something in this line is broken or something in that chain is broken. Or it can also mean that you just haven't done anything to promote your channel. Like let's say that you're brand new, and I'm actually going to pull you up here real quick. But let's say that you're brand new, for example, and you're like, hey, I'm just trying to get the ball rolling here. Like, how do I get, you know, some people to come in and watch my videos? Okay, yeah, you are. You're brand new. Okay, so in your case, it looks like you just started a month ago. So what you need to think about is, one, you definitely need to get your thumbnails together, just as a heads up. I mean, I'm just giving you a heads up here. You definitely have to get your thumbnails together. Two, some of your titles, one in particular, like like if you had the option to get monetized, you would have just lost it probably for that one. So I'm actually not going to continue talking about that one, but you definitely need to get your thumbnails and titles together. And you also, I really recommend that you read through the YouTube community guidelines, Mr. Toxic, because you're actually like borderline on some stuff there on your channel, just as a heads up. Okay. Animation Brothers says, are you reviewing channels? I will be getting into channels here in a little bit. As long as people can handle my lag. As long as my lag isn't too much. PhotoFin says, thanks so much for shouting me out on Twitter. I appreciate you, Nick. PhotoFin, I appreciate you too, man, because you're putting in the work, you're doing all the stuff, right? And because you're doing all the stuff, man, like, you know, like everybody, you know, like when somebody's doing all the stuff, right, and they're doing what they can to make all this stuff work, and they're you know, they're tuned in, then everybody will try to help. But when people are asking for help, but they're not putting in that effort to try to really, you know, understand what's going on, then that's when it becomes more difficult to have people help. But in your case, man, you're off to a fantastic start, and I'm really excited to see how things go. And it's also inspiring to me too, because, you know, you're a younger person, and since you are, you know, a younger person and you're still putting out content that is like a higher quality content and adds more value than a lot of like grown-ups do on YouTube, or a lot of people that, you know more about this stuff. The fact that you're already doing that and you're a younger person, it's awesome, man. I love to see it. Renegade, let's see here. Renegade says, how do you make better thumbnails and what do you think of mine? So you make better thumbnails by making sure that whatever it is that you... That's weird. Sounds like something's coming through my ceiling. Uh-oh. Oh my gosh, a monster! No, I'm just kidding. But yeah, it does sound like something's coming through my ceiling. It's weird. I think it's the air, something with the aircon. Okay. Okay, so so back on this channel here, back on the Renegade, in terms of your thumbnails, what I recommend to you in your particular case is just A/B test them in TubeBuddy or do it the manual way, which is basically just say, okay, this is my click-through rate on the thumbnail from this date range to this date range, and now I'm going to check I'm going to change my thumbnail, and then I'm gonna track the click-through rate on my thumbnail from this date range to this date range, and you just keep doing that over and over again until you find the things that work the best, and make sure that you're doing that on videos that get consistent traffic. Easy way to do it in TubeBuddy, though. Casper Electronics says, how would I upgrade / update my overall appearance to attract more attention? So if you're trying to upgrade what it is that you're doing, some of the things that you can do, of course, is, you know, you can make sure that you are trying to tune in your visual authority as much as possible. And what I mean by that is, you know, how things look, how things sound, you know, how you're editing your videos, your overall presentation with like all the graphics on your channel and things like that. In terms of upgrading, you know, that's the stuff that can help you do it. And the funny thing is like you can do this stuff, like even if you're making videos on a webcam, right? Because this is a webcam right here. Like even if you're making videos on a webcam, like you can still just put in a little bit of effort and you can make a big difference on how things look just based on like how you're lighting your videos and stuff like that. For example, I can show you right here, right? Like you can see right here, like I have a ring light here. I can actually just change it to this one so you can see. So here, when you see this particular shot, right, because it's not framed for the way that things are lit. This is, I just put this up here just for the sake of having a different angle, like a behind the scenes type of thing, right? But you'll see right over here, I just have a ring light that's bouncing off of the wall and hitting me, right? So basically I'm bouncing it off the wall so that it's softened off of the wall. And then when it hits me, then it's going to like wash over me. And then I have all the stuff in the background dark so that when this light hits me, it kind of makes me pop off of here. And then I have the lighting here in the background. So that kind of makes me, you know, gives me some separation from what's going on there in the background as well. So, you know, if you take a little bit of time, even if you're doing, you know, your videos with a webcam, just on how you're lighting your stuff can make a really big difference on how it comes across. In addition to that, you know, depending on what software that you're using for your, to edit your videos, you can also, you know, use color correction, and you can also use color grading to make your stuff look different or to make it pop more or whatever. But the thing is that stuff's not like necessary. It's not a requirement, but depending, you know, like if you can do it, if you're good at it, then it can just kind of help you. It's another way that you can stand out from the other people that are making content similar to you. RPM Nexus, what is up, dude? Let's see here. It says RPM Nexus says, so with YouTube coming out with A/B testing of their own, how do you think this will affect TubeBuddy? So with YouTube coming out with the A/B testing of their own, I'm not sure in terms of if they're going to say this thumbnail is better than this thumbnail, and I'm not sure of all of the details that they're going to give with that. So in terms of how that's going to affect that specific feature, I'll have to see the actual data that they give with that. And the reason for that is because let's say that they say like this thumbnail, you know, performs better overall, but they don't give you any of the information that goes along with that. Then like, let's say for example, that you are targeting search, but then they're wanting to put you in suggested, or let's say that you're targeting suggested, but they're wanting to, you know, use the thumbnail that works best in search. If they're not showing you that information, then having that information is going to be, you know, it's still going to be extremely valuable. So as long as if you're somebody that's putting any like thought into what it is that you're doing in terms of like, hey, I'm targeting this, I'm targeting this, I'm targeting this with your content, then that information is still going to be extremely valuable. But in order to answer that one like solid, I have to know exactly what additional information YouTube is going to show us with that. Professor Nez in the house. Shannon Vlogs, what is up? Nice to see you guys. Car Galaxy Studios, what is up? Butterfly Whispers Paranormal says, hey Nick, how many times a week should a creator upload? It's a fantastic question. You should upload as much as you see fit in terms of it fitting into your life. Patty Broussard, what's up? Nice to see you. So what I mean by that is this. If you are uploading to YouTube because you just enjoy uploading to YouTube and you're doing it as a hobby and you are just trying to, you know, share your stuff and it's not something to where it's like, you know, I got to make this work. Then in that particular case, then, you know, you could just mix it into your life to where it's comfortable and it's not a stressor in any way. That's my recommendation. If you are like, hey, I'm gonna start grinding on this stuff and I want to like actually turn this into like an asset for, you know, for a business, or I want to turn it into a business or just an additional asset for something where I can get free stuff or to where I can grow my influence or to where, you know, I can position myself as a certain way in my industry or something like that. Then in that case, you have to take a totally different approach and you have to go through the processes of learning how to get people to respond to your content. But once you learn how to get people to respond to your content, then you can upload as much as humanly possible, because that's all, you know, additional chances for people to come in and see the content that you have. All right. So, G. Michael Jr. says, what are the major differences between TubeBuddy, vidIQ, Social Blade, Morning Fame, and Social Blue Book, etc.? So the first two, let's see here, TubeBuddy, vidIQ, and Morning Fame, those are specifically like search engine channel management type of tools, or SEO / channel management type of tools. Social Blade is more of like a tracking type thing, and they just give you insights into stuff, but it's not more of like a, it's not a tool necessarily. Social Blue Book is something that basically helps you find your values in terms of, you know, like if you're going to be working with brands doing sponsorship deals, things like that. It just gives you like a general idea of what your channel's worth. It gives you the important demographics that brands typically look for, and things like that. So what I recommend is this. All of the tools, like, just like if you're building a house, that's an analogy that I always like to give. And I don't know if it's a correct analogy in terms of, you know, because I've never built a house in terms of like, I've never been in there like, you know, hammering away, because D gives me a hard time about this. But, you know, like with all of this stuff, you know, like if you're working on cars, we'll do that one. If you're working on cars, or if you're building a house, or, you know, you're even making videos, there's certain tools, you know, that are required in order to make those things happen. Some tools are requirements. Other tools are things that will just make your life easier when you're doing that kind of stuff. Like, you know, you can take a handsaw, right? And you can sit there and you can cut plywood with your handsaw, right? And you can do it that way. Sure, it's going to get the job done. It's going to take you a long time and you're going to be exhausted, but it's going to get the job done. Or you can just get like a circular saw or whatever, and you can just, you know, run it over it, and then it's done, you know, in a matter of seconds. So they're tools. Just like any other thing that you would do has its own tools. These are all tools as well. So what I recommend is they all have different features. Some of them overlap, but they all have different features. Personally, I recommend that you use everything, because every little advantage that you can give yourself is going to be advantageous to you. So I personally recommend that you use everything. Heidi, what is up? Nice to see you in here. Doug Hoosen in the house. What is up, man? Sir Potato Joe says, hey, I've been using TubeBuddy for some time now. I started using the Keyword Explorer and got a good title. I put the title I need at the beginning of my video tags and description, yet it barely has 5 views. Ouch. I'm a very small channel, and I was wondering on some tips to get more views. Thanks. So what you want to do if you got TubeBuddy and you've been using TubeBuddy, you also want to check your thumbnails. Because again, what I mentioned earlier in the stream, and if you're just joining us, I'm going to fill you in on like what's actually going on here today. But what I mentioned earlier in the stream is that there's, you know, more to the pie. It's not just a title, a description, and tags. There's also like your thumbnails, for example. Like I'm looking at your thumbnails right now, and I'm sure that your click-through rate on your thumbnails is probably pretty low. In addition to that, there's also the audience retention on your videos, which is basically how long people watch your videos for. So that is another aspect of it that is also extremely important, and just the general engagement that you're getting on your videos. So right now, because you're literally like just getting started. So right now, you need to focus on making sure that your titles are good, because they're not. You also need to make sure that your thumbnails are also good, because looking at them, they definitely can use some improvement. And in terms of like the audience retention and all that stuff, you also need to make sure that you're focusing in on that as well. Because if these other things here that I'm looking at could use a lot of improvement, then in that case, I'm guessing that, you know, that your retention and all that stuff is also something. And another thing also, for example, like here you have 4 videos in a row about They're 1-minute videos about testing live streaming software, about testing Streamlabs. So, you know, like things like that. You have to think of what it is that you're putting out there. The man with the hat. How's it going, man? Nice to see you in here. In Thy Word says, how far ahead are you? I'm not sure what you mean by that. Let's see here. Okay, 50 Phil says, I can't talk in front of the camera. How to improve this skill? So in order to improve the skill of talking on camera, you got to practice. And I know that sounds basic and that's kind of like, you know, oh, really? That's what I got to do? But yeah, that's really what you have to do. You know, like for example, if I were like, hey, you know, how do I throw a football, or how do I play a piano? Like, I don't just sit down and then I just start playing and it's like, hey, I'm awesome, right? Like you have to go through a process of learning, you know, the mechanics of it, learning how to do it, learning what to be aware of, what's important, what's not important. And, you know, presenting yourself on video is the same exact situation, and being comfortable on video is the same way, and just being engaging on camera is another thing. It's all a developed skill set. Some people are naturals at it, but that typically comes from, you know, what's come from their past, right? Not necessarily that they were just born that way, but, you know, but some people are better at that kind of stuff just based on what they did before they got here on YouTube. Viper in the house, what is up, man? Picked up 2 of your shirts today. I got a shirt for me and a shirt for D. So they are mailed to the States. And once they arrive there, then they're gonna have to be sent here. I've actually got like your shirts there. I've got Beanie Draw's shirts there. Yeah, I've got a bunch of stuff. I need to actually have her send everything over at once. So My First Gaming says, I was very terrible at talking on camera when I started, and now I don't shut up. I feel you, right? I hear you, right? I'm like, I've been talking this whole time. We're like 30 minutes in, and I haven't shut up yet, right? And I'm just getting started. So yeah, so I feel you on that one, big time, like really big time. All right, so let's see here. Back into the questions here. That was 50 fills. Paul Peck Drywall Tube says, is it possible to run AdSense ads when you have Teespring merch enabled? Yes, it is. I do that currently on mine. Doggy says, how long should a new YouTuber take to edit and post their videos? As long as it takes. So here's the thing, Dodgy. So when you first start doing all of this stuff, just like with anything else, you know, it's going to take you a longer time because, you know, you might not have your workflow together yet. You might not have how you organize things in order to make things efficient for yourself. You might not have that stuff together yet or streamlined. The actual editing software itself, you know, you got to learn the ins and outs of that so that it's almost muscle memory. When you're like, hey, I want to know how to do this specific thing. Then in that case, okay. So when in that specific case, so that you can like if you're like, hey, I want to make something move across the screen, or I want to do this cut or whatever, like once you get used to it, you'll learn like shortcut keys, and you'll learn like where everything's at, so you know exactly where to go, and you don't have to fumble around for anything, and it can make the process a lot faster. So right now, while you're just getting started, just hang in there and just kind of embrace the curve, right? Because there's a learning curve that comes with all of this. So just embrace it. It's part of the ride, so to speak. So so just keep on keep on cruising. Michael Furberger says, why do my girlfriends keep on dumping me? That's hilarious. I don't know, Michael. I have no idea why your girlfriends keep on dumping you. Maybe you are not giving them time. I don't know. Maybe you're not giving them time. Maybe you're giving them too much time. I don't know. I have no idea. Oh, man. Yeah, I see Stormtrooper Lego saying lag. Okay, so let's see here. D just sent me a message, says to drop my bit rate. So let me see what I'm at with my bit rate here. And I don't think I can do this while I'm live, but maybe I can. I don't even know. Let's see here. So yeah, it looks like I can. So if this thing crashes, yeah, I can't change anything. So yeah, so there goes that idea. So we're just gonna have to keep on rolling. Yes. Yeah, just moving forward. That's all I can do. All right. So let's see here. Next up on the list is Dodgy again saying, what editing do you use? If it's pay, then what is a good free editing software? I personally use Sony, or not Sony now anymore. It's Vegas Pro. And Vigard, who edits my videos, he uses Adobe Premiere Pro. And those are both paid. And there are also things like DaVinci Resolve, which is free, HitFilm Express, which is free, and there's a handful of other ones. There's also cheaper ones or lower priced ones, like Filmora, for example, is one. There's a bunch of different options. Okay. So Nigel Peacock says, what lighting are you using? Just the ring, question mark. Okay, so I will, Motivation Theory says, this is for a coffee for the stream, so it wakes up. Thanks. Yeah, I've got my own coffee for the stream. Now we just gotta pour some on the computer, see how that works out. D sending me messages here, I think. Oh, okay, yeah. Okay, so yeah, so for the lighting, let's see here. So yeah, so right here, this is the ring light. This is all I'm using right now is just this, and then whatever is coming off of the screen right here, and then whatever's coming off of this screen. Like, that's the only light that's hitting me right now. But in terms of like as a whole, I have a bunch of different lighting that I use. I'll actually, I don't know if this is gonna work or not, but we'll try it. Let me. I was wanting to experiment with this anyway, so we are going to we're gonna see how this works. Test. Okay, can you hear that? Can you just give me a hashtag yes if you can hear this right now? Like if it's coming through loud and clear. Yep. Okay. Cool. Okay, so here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to show you. Let me clip this to myself, and then I will show you the actual lights that I use in here, if you want to see it. Okay, so for the lights that I use in here, I'm going to grab the camera here. Bear with me here as I get this little thing together here. Give you guys a little tour of the thing here. But I'll show you the lights that I use. I'll show you the cameras. I'll show you the whole nine. Give you the full run here of what's how it goes down here in the studio. So let me grab my phone real quick so that I can see what is going on here. Okay, so I can pull up the chat and whatnot. Okay, so for the lighting to continue, so this right here for my normal videos, like this is my lighting here for the normal videos. I basically, it's normally a little bit higher, but basically my camera is here, right? And then I have one light here hitting me. And then if you look right over here on top of this thing right there, then you're gonna see another light, and that light bounces off of the wall, okay? And then basically I stand right here, right? Because here's the camera, so I stand like right here. And then basically I have this light hitting me, the one that I showed you, and then I have the one over there hitting me. And then the lights back here, these are basically just can lights. It's just like this one, right? Same exact thing as this one, but they are they have colored lights in them. And with these, I actually just put the hue lights in here. Turn up the audio, okay. So with these, I just put the there we go. Let me know if that might be a little too hot. There we go. So so with these, I just put the Alexa lights in here so that I can be like, you know, Alexa, turn office red. And then we got bam. Yeah, so that's pretty cool. I'm actually pumped about that one. Alexa, turn office blue. And then over on this side, okay, I've got this right here is a aperture light. Go here so you can see the brand right there. Here, I'll turn this light on just so it picks it up. Yeah. So this one here is an aperture light. So anytime that I do my desk stuff, but my actual desk videos, what I'll do is I'll use this light here, and then I'll also use this one again so that it is, you know, so that it's lighting me evenly and whatnot. And then in terms of cameras, this one here is the Canon 80D. This one here, this is the Sony A6500. I just made a TubeBuddy video for that package that they sent me that I showed you earlier. So I have my 10mm lens on it, but normally I use this one, which is a 16mm. And then of course, M&Ms mixed with almonds, but that's specifically for the stream. So, and then in terms of this stuff, just some audio, you know, just some normal speakers and stuff over here. And then of course, you know, you see this, you know, during the normal stream. So, but yeah, so that's the deal. So I hope that was interesting. Some stuff that you don't normally get to see here. I'm actually going to do a studio tour video soon, just because I've like updated some stuff. So so that will be coming here very soon as well, which will be nice and fun. So now I'm just trying to get this back on this stand here. Get it all rotated so we are back in action here. There we go. And that should be about right, give or take. Let me turn this and spin it. Bam. All right. So yeah, so that's that. So hope that was interesting. Yeah, and M&M's, you know, not sponsored. So yeah, so that's the, let me turn that down. So yeah, that's the stuff, right? In terms of like the lights and, you know, all of the, you know, different equipment and, you know, all of that stuff. So hopefully that was probably way overboard, Nigel, in terms of, you know, answering your question. So, but that's, you know, that's the deal. That's the info that you were seeking on steroids. This is a SM7B hybrid steel. Hey, what's up, Creeperhead? All right, next question on the list. Okay, we're not going to do that one because he's asked like a bunch of questions, and he asked another one and another one. Yeah, so this question here, and Dodgy, if you're in the stream right now, just a heads up, you're saying, you know, if people hate the algorithm, why doesn't YouTube change it for testing? YouTube doesn't make the algorithm for people. YouTube makes the algorithm to serve content to people. Like, they're not making it for creators, they're making it for the people that go and watch videos on YouTube, and tapping into that, understanding how it works enough so that you can make content that the algorithm will pick up and say, yeah, we want to show this to people. Like, that's what it is. So instead of looking at it like, hey, they should change what they're doing in order to suit me, you got to change that, right? And you got to say, okay, well, this is how things are. This is how it works. So what can I do in order to tap into that, right? So you definitely have to, you know, it'll be beneficial for you to do a mental shift on that whole thing. Hey, Gord Eisman in the house. What's up, dude? Nice to see you in here as well. Spouses buying houses. What is up? Nice to see you in here as well. So, okay, a couple things really quick. If you are a channel member, I wanted to give you a heads up and let you know that the Facebook group is now open for channel members. I made a post about it in the community feed, but I know not everybody sees that. So just as a heads up, I want to let you know that that is available. So when you get the chance, make sure that you check the community feed for the details on that. Viewed this says, we recommend other channels for people to watch that they may not know about, including NewTube, less than 1,500 subscribers, shout out for the week. Do you think it's a good concept? Our audience is YouTube channel surfers. Okay, so if you are basically working with content creators to show undiscovered content creators to people on YouTube, then let me look at your channel and see what's going on over there. Then in that particular case, if you have a very large channel and you're doing that for the sake, yeah, okay, so you're just getting started. So if you have like a very large channel and you're doing that for the sake of, just giving some extra exposure, or, like that's kind of your way of giving back, then yeah, that's cool. But if you're trying to actually grow a channel off of it, there's no reason for people to come to your channel, because basically what you're doing is you are curating content and showing it to people instead of YouTube. I mean, that's what YouTube does, right? YouTube is trying to show people what it is that they want to see. The AI is actually better at putting that stuff together than people are. So because of that, yeah, I think that I personally am not a fan of the concept, just because I think it's a little redundant. But of course, do your thing. You might end up, it might end up working out for you. But me personally, I just don't see the real value in that. Outside of you just trying to get creators on and trying to give them shout outs so that hopefully they'll give you shout outs and, all of that stuff, which is the backwards way of doing things. Man, this Dodgy's asking like a bunch of questions here. Okay, so Dumb and Chill says, can you check my channel and give me tips about what I need to post? We're not doing the channel stuff yet. That's going to be later in the it's going to be later in the show. So once we get there, we're going to be doing one tip trivia, and once we do the one tip trivia, then if you win that, then you'll get that. And I'm actually just going to have to make the trivia up, or just pull people out of chat. I might even just pull people out of chat, just because I don't have the stuff here that D normally has in order to even access the question that Doug asked in his live stream. Cameron Underwood says, what's the best way to get that first initial kick of viewers? I've noticed it's hard to get views without sharing videos externally. So again, you want to make sure that your videos are optimized for search. You want to make sure that you have learned to make thumbnails in a way that people are clicking on them at a high rate. You also want to make sure that you're getting good audience retention on your videos and just general engagement as a whole. In terms of the best way, or you've noticed that sharing externally and bringing people in is how you can get views right now. Keep doing that. That's just part of, getting started. So definitely market your videos. So what you want to do in your case, Cameron Underwood, is you want to find places online where the people that you're trying to reach are hanging out, and then join those communities, hang out in those communities, get to know people in those communities. And what's going to happen is it's going to be, a process, but what's going to happen is, depending on the type of content that you make, you are going to become known as that person that makes YouTube videos in that particular community about, the specific type of content that you make. So look for any place online where people hang out that make your type of content. So in your particular case, thanks, D. I appreciate it. In your particular case, like, I don't mean like going to like YouTube groups per se and taking that approach, but what I do mean is, like, let's say that you make, I'll just see what kind of content you make. Okay, so let's see here. So you're doing like challenges. Let's see here, 7-day. Okay, you definitely need to work on your titles, just as a heads up. So like, if you are having trouble getting views, looking at your channel right now, you definitely need to work on your titles. Like, without question, definitely have to work on your titles. In addition to that, you've been going for a week. So yeah, like, promote externally, try to bring people in. Go through the YouTube Creator Academy. I have a link to it down in the description. It's 100% free, provided by YouTube, and it will, like, there's a specific section on search and discovery, and another section on writing titles and all of that. Go in and go through those specific areas. Go through the whole thing, but first go through those, so that as you're putting up videos right now, that you can at least be titling them in the right way, and that you can understand in terms of some of the best practices around that stuff. Jay-Z Helps, a Florida injury law firm. Thank you for the super chat. I appreciate it. Saying, should I post my phone number on my videos during my videos? I'm an injury lawyer in Florida. My goal is to get clients. If I do this by providing valuable content, which I'm doing in love, thanks. So in your specific case, what I would do is I would actually verbally tell people that your phone number is in your description. And the reason for that is because if you embed that in your video, let's say that for whatever reason you end up not having that phone number anymore. Let's say that you end up moving to a different side of town for whatever reason, and just for something happens to that phone number, then it's going to be burned into the video. Whereas if you're always making a reference to it in your video description, then people can always, you know, still find it in your video description. But then if you do have that situation 5 years from now to where that number's changed, then you can go and you can change or you can update those descriptions and add the updated number to your descriptions. So that's one of the things that TubeBuddy can help you with too, is which hopefully you won't even need to do this, but one of the things that they also have there is a bulk updating feature. So you can actually say, this is the old phone number, this is the new phone number, go through all of my video descriptions and change this, go. And then it just goes through and does it all. And actually, since you are doing law and using this for business, I always like to look at channels like yours. So I'm actually just going to put this up so I can look at it here later. Yeah, another thing too, in your specific case, just as a heads up, I'll actually just pull this up on the screen real quick. Just as a heads up, also in your specific case, I would also just, like, if you're doing this for the sake of business, I would, like, right here. Let's see here. Let's see if I can get this thing to pop up. And no, it's not popping up. Let's see if this will do it. Boom. Nope, still not doing it. There we go. Like this area right here, right? Okay, we'll do it this way. Boom. This area right here, I would focus this just on sending people to your website. And instead of doing your justinziegler.net, instead of doing that, I would say, you know, visit our website, or turn it into an actual call to action. Get a free consultation, or, you know, something like that here. And then I would lose all of this stuff, because if your purpose of doing this is to get business from your YouTube channel, then all of these, there's no reason to have these on here. Let people find you, you know, on those places. Put them in your description, stuff like that. But in terms of your actual channel page, when they come to watch more of your content or find out more about you, I would definitely change what's going on up here. In addition to that, make sure, okay, you do have it here also. Okay, yeah, good. All right, next question. Okay, so Yukib Mahad says, can you rate my thumbnails? Can I rate your thumbnails? You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to pull this up real quick, and I'm just going to look at your thumbnails here. Okay, you actually didn't link me to your page. You linked me to your it just says feed account, so that would just show me my stuff. Okay, so that's another one from Dodgy there. Hillbilly Boys in the house. What is up, man? Nice to see you guys in here. Young Orange, what is up? Nice to see you in here as well. LT Commander Data Billy Leister, what is up? Nice to see you here in the chat. Welcome everybody to the chat. So if you are just joining us, basically first I want you to drop a hashtag new, just so that I know that you are just hanging out. I also want to let you know what's going on. Basically what we're doing right now is I am answering YouTube questions, to where there's a form in the description down below. I'm pulling some of them from chat also, but there's a form down in the description below to where you can ask your questions, and I'm just going through and I'm just answering questions based on, you know, what it is that you want to know. In addition to that, I will be looking at channels here in a little bit, because this stream today is probably going to be a little bit shorter, but I'm going to be looking at streams here in just a little bit to just give tips on things that people can do to improve their channels as well. So yeah, so decent amount of news here since I had said that last. So yeah, so good to know. Justin Bennett, what is up, man? Nice to see you in here as well. And I just saw, hold on, I just saw here, let's see if I can find it. Jay-Z Help says, can I ask more? Can we ask more than one super chat? Yeah, for sure. And you can just ask a question. Like if you, as long as I see it, like here's the thing, like with super chats, they just help me see the question, or if it's in the form, it helps me see the question. But you can ask, you know, like if you have another question, you know, on top of what I just asked Jay-Z, you can definitely just ask it in the chat. And I'll try to look for it here and look for it to pop up. Tim Yance, what's up, man? Nice to see you here in the chat as well. Heidi dropping the 20 spot. Thank you for that. Towards a cardboard cutout of D to help keep me company on the days that he can't be here with you. That's a really good idea. I should actually do that and put him in all my videos too. That would be awesome. So for now though, I just have to do this, right? So for now, I don't have a cardboard cutout, but I've got this. So, you know, so D is here in spirit. He's here in the chat. You know, he's just not here. He's just not here physically. So, good stuff. A cardboard cutout. Yeah, that would be awesome. I'm actually going to see what I can do about that. That'd be really awesome, actually. Okay. Just started this channel and great tips, says Sneaker Section. Thank you. I appreciate that. All right. Hey, Nick, I created my channel today and followed your steps on becoming a YouTuber. High five and fist bump, Rafi. That is awesome, man. Nice to see you taking action there, man. Chasing after what it is that you want. That's awesome to see, man. Well done. Okay, still looking for Jay-Z here. I don't know if he got his question in here or if I missed it. I'm going to scroll up here really quick just to see if he did say something else, and I don't see anything else here outside of that. So, okay, so I will just keep on scrolling down, and we will continue on. We will continue on. Mike Phillips, what's up, dude? Nice to see you. So, Art by April says, any tips for an art channel? Absolutely. Make awesome art, make awesome thumbnails. I would be really active in any art community that you can possibly be. I would be trying to involve myself in conversations on Twitter with every art channel that you can possibly imagine as well. By your actual channel name, which it looks like Art by April is your channel name. I would make sure that that is also something on social media so that when you are involving yourselves in these conversations and things like that, it will draw attention to you also being an artist, which will encourage people to also click and, you know, try to find out more about you. But I would definitely do that. Other things that I would do as an art channel is, depending on the type of art that you do, I would also try to ride trends as much as possible. So, you know, if there's like a big event that happens or a celebrity's doing something crazy or whatever, or a specific celebrity, or, you know, we'll just say presidential president or somebody is in the news a lot, then in that case, you know, trying to make, you know, art based around, you know, that kind of stuff, it, you know, can also be a win, or just pop culture in general. Or you could just make dinosaurs like Beanie Draws. Ross Brown in the Ross Brand in the house. Livestream Universe, what's up, man? Nice to see you in here. Cricket Wilson, what is up? Nice to see you here as well. Let's see here. Doing Exploring says, how do I report a bug to YouTube? So what you can do is they actually have a subreddit. Eric, wait, what's up? They have a subreddit, so you can go to reddit.com/YouTube, and you can report anything there if you notice a bug. On Twitter, you can also do a at Team YouTube, and there's also YouTube people there that will answer questions, or they'll reply with, you know, blanket statements, but they will, you know, like that's how you let people know that you find something. Thank you, Launchpad Astronomy. I appreciate it. Q Star, what is up? Howdy to you as well. Brahmin Noodles, I will get you in the queue here for later once we get into that portion of the show. Dan Norton, what is up, my man? Nice to see you in here also. So if you are just joining the stream, or if you've been in here for a while, I would like to invite you to take a moment and share this out on Twitter so that you can let other content creators know that, hey, you know, we're in here answering YouTube questions, we're in here hanging out and all that good stuff. So now would be a fantastic time to do that, and it would be much appreciated. Dr. Sten in the house, what is up, dude? Nice to see you in here as well. All right, next question. Let's see here. Hey, Nick, what tips would you do to grow an art-based channel? That's funny. 2 art ones in a row. The same thing that I just said to the other one there. Okay. Bro Smart says, hey, Nick, I wanted to know what I can do to improve and change in my YouTube channel. So one thing that you can do to improve your YouTube channel is learn how to read your YouTube analytics. If you can learn how to use or read your YouTube analytics, that the information contained inside of your YouTube analytics is kind of like the key, so to speak, to making all of this stuff work. It shows you where all of your insufficiencies are. It shows you where you are excelling. It shows you where you are not. It shows you what people are responding to. It shows you what people are not. It shows you everything. It shows you all of the stuff that you need to know in order to make this stuff work for you. I was actually, I'll actually read it to you in a second. I'm not going to say who it was, but I was having a Facebook conversation today, and one thing that a challenge that someone had is they were trying to break the 50% mark on their audience retention. And hey, Flash in your pan, thanks for that, man. I appreciate it. So, so their problem was they're like, man, no matter what I do, I can't get my videos over 50% audience retention. So I say, okay, that's cool. How about you just take a screenshot of this particular video, because I went and watched the video. I said, just take a screenshot of this particular video of your audience retention report and send that to me. And then right away, I can see they're getting a 38% average view duration on their video. And right away, like I can see, let's see if I can show you this without, not sure if I can, oh yeah, right here, boom, there we go. So I'm not sure if you can see this. Let's see. Yeah, so I can just show you what I'm seeing here. But like right here, let's see here, there we go. So I can see, right, that in the beginning of the video, they have a problem, right? So when I went and watched the video, oh, it's fading out of me there. Come on, webcam. What do we got? Come on, webcam. Let's try it again. Come on, webcam. See, if I was D, I would have this up on my screen. Okay, so so right there, you can see at the very beginning that there's a problem, right, over in this area here. So what I did is I went and I watched the video, and in this particular situation, he has a lot of like B-roll. So the video starts and there's like a bunch of B-roll. The music's cool, and then after the B-roll, there's like a 12-second intro. So basically, my suggestion was, hey, at the beginning of this, instead of just having B-roll to where people are just like leaving in mass, you know, experiment. First one is to try to talk, you know, try to actually, you know, talk while you're showing your B-roll so that people know that, you know, they're going to hear somebody talk at least. And then the second thing to try would be to actually be on camera when your video opens to see how people respond to that. And then in addition to that, lose the intro. Either completely lose it or trim it down to like 3 to 5 seconds instead of 12. So I'm excited to see how that info comes back. And you can also see in his retention, let me pull this up again, and you can look at your retention too to see, you know, if you see something similar in yours. But another thing is right here at the end, you see where, let's see if I can do this. You see where it's trailing off right there at the very end, right? So what he can do in that situation when you watch the video is he actually ends the video. He verbally ends the video, and then he's still got an extra like 1.5 to 2 minutes left on that particular video, but he ends it verbally by talking about, you know, coming to his conclusion or whatever. So the recommendation for that was, okay, well, if you see that, you know, drop at the end and it's like, hey, people are leaving here because they think the video's over, then in that case, then that's a great place to just drop your end screen, right? Just drop it and say whatever it is that you're going to say in that last 20 seconds while your end card is up, instead of sacrificing all that time and then adding a end card to it. Mike Phillips says, hey, brand channel tied to Maps Place. Wouldn't let me change the name. Had to launch a brand new brand for name change. Still having fallout. Member stars missing. Lead the team. Any tips or best practices? So what you're saying is that you transferred to a brand account and something broke in the process. If that's the case, then shoot. Like if you go into the Google Help, you're going to see an option there to where you can actually find an email form to where you can actually send them that information and let them know that you're having a problem with it, and then they should be able to help you fix that problem. Hillbilly Boys says, thanks. And Mike, feel free to hit me up, shoot me a message on Facebook or something, and I can try to lead you on the right direction because I know the right pages to go to and stuff. Thanks for all the help, Nick. YouTube changed the direction of my life. I have Hillbilly's mobile tattoo, Hillbilly Boy's mobile tattoo, and doing events. That's awesome, man. I hear you. That's the funny thing. Brahmin noodles. I'm going to be getting into them here in a little bit. I mean, it's going to be a while, but I'm getting into them here in a little bit. But yeah, Hillbilly Boys, man, that's the thing with this stuff is, you know, like when people get into it, like, enjoy your radio show, Robert. Robert's got a cool radio show thing that he does. He actually goes into like a studio, like a radio studio, and does it. It's pretty awesome. But that's a cool thing about this stuff that a lot of people, they don't like, you know, like when you're first getting into it, you know, you might not even like know it. Like you'll see, you know, like articles written, or you'll see on the news or whatever where they're like, you know, like this content creator, you know, like this is happening to him or this is happening to him. But like when you're actually in it and that stuff starts happening to you, it's awesome. It can be a really cool feeling, and a lot of people really underestimate all of the opportunities that can come from just uploading videos to YouTube, and you know, like all of the stuff that goes around that. It's pretty incredible. But it's awesome to hear, man. Love, absolutely love hearing that, and love hearing that you are that you're cruising right along, and that you're getting, you know, good feedback from what it is that you're doing, and that you got a tattoo. That's awesome. Bro Smart says, hey Nick, I just wanted to know how I can improve and change my channel. Okay, learn how to use your analytics. I think I answered that one. Okay, Remy Eve says, I work so very hard, but I never grow. I've been on YouTube for 2 years, but only have 300 subscribers. Any tips? So, Remy, unfortunately on YouTube, they don't reward us based on how hard we work, unfortunately. So because of that, yeah, yeah, that's definitely not working. There we go. So, so because of that, the actual like work that you put into it, you know, that's something that's only coming from your end, right? Like YouTube doesn't reward us based on how much time we spend on videos. They don't reward us on anything except how good we are at getting people, how good we are at getting people to respond to what it is that we're putting out in a bunch of different forms, right? So if you've been on YouTube for 2 years and you only have 300 subscribers, I just looked at your channel, and it looks like your channel is not even like a real channel. It looks like you're just doing some like mix-up stuff and things like that. So my advice to you is to find something that you can offer that is more, and I'm actually going to pull it up again here really quick to make sure I was looking at the right one. But to find something that you can offer that is going to serve a particular group of people. Because here it looks like you're like uploading, like you have thumbnails from like Vivo on here, which oh no, these are just liked videos. So yeah, like you don't have your, oh wait, this isn't your channel. It can't be your channel because you said you have 300 subscribers. Okay, I've got you now. Okay. Okay, yeah, so same exact thing, right? So in your situation here, I'm going to pull you up here real quick just so you can see what I mean. So like in this situation, right? Like in terms of like you working hard, that might be working hard in actually making the content, but you also have to work hard in understanding how all of this stuff works, because YouTube doesn't just like give views and stuff like that. It's all based on how people respond to your content. So for example, like your channel art, your thumbnails, you know, the actual titles that you're using and things like that, like none of this is done in a way that is something that will generate response in any way. So what you need to do is you need to go through the YouTube Creator Academy. It's 100% free. You can find a link to it down in the description below. But it's provided by YouTube, and it's an instruction manual of sorts that will teach you how to use YouTube, what YouTube expects you to do, what's required on YouTube, and all of that stuff. Okay, I'm going to scroll down to the bottom of the chat here, see what's going on. Josephine saying the stream's laggy today. Yep, got it. Definitely getting that feedback. Nimmin Live has broken the internets. Hey, that's how it goes. Yeah, if it's laggy, I'm not sure. I know my internet has just been a little bit slow today anyway, so it just might be, you know, might just be the thing today. But it's all right. Still pushing forward, still going. As long as you can hear me, then that's fine. So when I start looking at channels and stuff, you won't even notice, because you know I won't actually be on camera. So in that case, it's not going to be that big of a deal. All right. Let's see here. My thumbnails. Man, this one person asked like 1,000 questions. Okay, Alex Talk says, when I change my logo, it changes everywhere, but when I change my banner, it doesn't change. Can you help, or should I contact YouTube? So it might be a caching issue to where either one, it's just kind of saved in your browser, so you might have to clear the cache on your browser. Go and confirm, like look at it on your phone, look at it on a friend's computer or another computer to confirm it hasn't changed. And one thing that you might need to do is, if you're uploading it and it is not, it's not changing at all, then change the file format. So like export it as something else, and then try to upload it again. That typically will fix it. And if that doesn't work, then yes, shoot them a message. Pipe Cleaner Craft says, hey and thanks. Hey, my competitors make videos that are at least twice as long as mine. Will YouTube automatically prefer their videos over mine? I'm not sure about the retention. My retention is slightly above 40. So it comes down to more things than just that. So YouTube, and I actually, Dee and I were talking about this, and I sent a screenshot, so I'll actually pull it up so I can read it to you verbatim. Let's see here. Let me go into this really quick. So if I can scroll up here, we're talking about his back. Let me go. Okay. So right here it says, like Google search engine, search on YouTube strives to surface the most relevant results according to keyword queries. Videos are ranked based on a variety of factors, including how well the title, description, and video content match the viewer's query. Beyond that, we look at which videos have driven the most engagement for a query. Okay, so let me back this up. So basically, let's say that you are, hey, Andrew Cannon in the house. What's up, man? Nice to see you in here. So let's say, for example, that you have a video about iPhone cases, right? It's like, hey, 10 iPhone cases that you might want to consider buying, or whatever your title is. So what YouTube is going to do is they're going to look, what they're saying right here is they're going to look at your title, they're going to look at your description, and they're going to see how well the video content also matches those based on what it is specifically that people are looking for. And they're also going to adjust those rankings based on what's driven the most engagement, which videos have driven the most engagement. So, and it says, and make sure it's easy for viewers to find those. Search results are not a list of the most viewed videos for a given query. So you have to factor that kind of stuff in when it comes to ranking videos in search. Like, it's not, again, it's not that one thing. Hey, my titles are good, or hey, my descriptions are good, or hey, I've got a good thumbnail, but my titles are bad, my description isn't optimized properly, and people aren't watching my videos for a long period of time. Right? So you win one thing, but then the other things are broken. Or, hey, I've got a good title and I've got a good thumbnail, but the other things are broken. Right? Like you have to do all of the things, right, in order to make it work at the best level for you. Mick and Mel says, question, is 50 to 55 average view duration good for a vlogging channel? It's okay, absolutely, but YouTube also recommends that you try to get as close to 100 as you can. So, like, if I were to tell you right now, and I always tell people, I say shoot for at least 50%, because a lot of people can't even get that. But like, if I were to say, yes, 50 to 55% average view duration is fine, right? Then there's nothing there to really say, okay, well, hey, I'm where I should be, so I don't necessarily need to improve, right? So YouTube specifically, or not specifically, but they say try to get to as close as 100 as you can. Of course, it's going to be a bigger challenge for some than others. I don't get 100% on my videos either, but in terms of like a 50 to 55% average view duration, it's a good starting point, but you still need to work constantly on trying to improve it, or finding ways to improve it. And it also depends. Like, if you're getting 50 to 55% of a 2-minute video versus 50 to 55% of a 30-minute video, there's a huge difference between how big of a deal that is, right? So if you're getting 50% on a 2 or 5-minute video versus 50% on a 30-minute video or a 20-minute video, then that's two totally different ballparks in terms of the actual watch time being accumulated on those videos. And to go back to the pipe cleaner crafts here, saying not sure about the retention, that my retention is slightly above 40%. So a couple things to think about here when you're thinking about your audience retention and you're looking at competitors is you want to think about, okay, if you're getting 40 right now, let's say you have a 10-minute video, so you're getting 4 minutes worth of watch time. And let's say that your competitors have a 20-minute video, but people are only watching it for 2 minutes, right? Or 3 minutes. Then you're still winning in terms of the audience retention, but there's still the other factors. Like, they might be getting a higher click-through rate, or they might be getting more engagement on their videos or something like that, instead of it just being strictly it's only audience retention, right? It's a whole pie. It's not just the one thing. These are like the most important things. Your retention, your click-through rate on your titles and thumbs, like those are extremely important and definitely something that always needs to be focused on. But in terms of with your competitors, it could be other factors involved with that also if they're outranking you. Another thing to consider also is, like, let's say that with your videos right now, you're getting a 40% audience retention on it. And if it's a 10-minute video and you're getting 40%, again, you're getting that 4 minutes. But if they have a 10-minute video or a 15-minute video, but they're getting that same, on a 15-minute video, they're getting that same 40%, then the overall watch time that they're getting is going to beat out yours. So the one of the things that we're judged on YouTube is the amount of watch time per impression. And what that means is, like, if you're looking at YouTube here, I'll pull my homepage up so you can see. Let me answer this question here really quick also. So Alana Zangano, I apologize if I messed that up, says channel audit. I recently updated playlist and have been working on thumbnails that include my face. Best practice for live streams after they air. Thank you. Yeah, so in terms of best practices for after live streams air, it really depends on what's going on in your channel. So like, we're all treated differently with what it is that we do. So so for example, like, you know, you'll see some people that will say, hey, I'm not doing live streams anymore because it's hurting my channel. And then you'll see other channels to where they're like, hey, I'm live streaming all the time because people are just digging my live streams, right? So it's all kind of based on what's going on in your channel. So if you're getting a good response from your live streams, then definitely leave them up. If you're not getting a good response from the replays, like when you do publish them, and the only real value is live, then unlist them so that the people that still come in from like the email notifications and stuff, so that they can still find it. But if you are not getting any good replay value out of them, then in that case you might want to consider unlisting them, especially if they're long. If they're short, not that big of a deal. But if they're long, you know, another thing to keep in mind there. But let me let's see here. Let me pull this up. Let me turn off this ad. Close ad. Okay. So, boom. So if you look at this right here. So in terms of an impression, right? So what I was saying before about YouTube judging us on our watch time per impression, right? So one of the things that or how this works, I should say, is like all of these, everything that you see right here, like this is an impression right now, okay? Now, if I take this and I scroll it down, and okay, we'll get past the posts. Okay, so we have Josephine's video right here, right? So right here, she's not fully on the screen yet. So this doesn't count as an impression. In order for this to count as an impression, I hate to do this to you, Josephine, but I'm going to scroll you up here. Boom. Now you just got an impression, right? So since I'm not clicking on Josephine's video here, then technically this is like one negative point for Josephine, because I showed it up here. See, I'm gonna have to like open this in a new window, and then I'm gonna have to like come back and like watch this and let it play later. So I'm actually going to yeah, I'll just leave this window up. I'll move it back here. But anyway, like in this situation, since I'm not clicking on this, then technically this is like one negative point for her, right? Whereas if this came up, and if this came up and I click on this, and let's say that that she gets like 10 minutes worth of watch time out of me, right? Because it's a 13-minute video. And let's say that one of her competitors is here, right? This isn't a competitor of hers, but let's just say, since both of these are showing up, let's say that all things were considered equal, right? Let's say that they're talking about the same song, or they're talking about the same thing. Let's say that they have the same amount of engagement. Let's say that their playlists are all the same. Let's say that they're, in terms of people adding, let's say they have the same amount of shares, they have the same amount of likes and all that stuff. In terms of the click-through rate on the thumbnail and the overall retention on these videos, right? If they were the same length, whoever wins at that particular thing would be the one that would perform better, right? So that's kind of how that works in terms of the watch time per impression. All right. Okay, I strongly hope to hear more in a reply. I'm not sure what that was for. Let me scroll up and see what it was that you were talking about there. Yeah, Andrew's saying that you have to win all three. Yeah, that's the thing is a lot of people. Interesting. I don't think I have much engagement. Few comments anyway. Yeah. It's all part of the pie. Like Andrew was saying, you know, you got to do all three and really you have to do like all of it, right? Like you have to get the clicks on your thumbnails, you have to get the audience retention, you have to get the engagement, because that's all factors in if YouTube surfaces your stuff or not. The most simple way to think about it is think about it like this. Think about, okay, YouTube is responsive. It's based solely on how people are responding to the content that you're putting out. So if people are clicking on it, they're watching it, they're sharing it, and they're engaging with it in general, then YouTube is going to be more likely to show it. If you're taking them deeper into your channel and you're creating more of that based on, you know, that initial video that you brought them in on, then that can also help that one video perform better, because they also say in the Creator Academy, they say that if people go deeper into YouTube from a specific video, then that video is more likely to get suggested elsewhere on the platform. So all of these things, all of these different versions of response are things that help your videos perform better. So as content creators, what you have to think about is you have to think about, okay, what do I got to do in order to get people to respond to my stuff as much as possible, in order to get people to click on my videos, in order to get people to watch my videos for an extended period of time, in order to get people in the comments, in order to get people to like my videos, in order to get people to watch more of the content that I'm putting out, in order to keep people coming back to my channel, all of that stuff. Like as a content creator, as somebody that's trying to excel on YouTube, like all of those things are the things that you have to make sure that you are, that you're putting into play. And I've got videos on all of it. You just have to dig through the content library, but I've got videos that show you how to do like literally all of that stuff. Let's see here. So good to be on these talks and also see people. Pipe Cleaner Crafts B. Yeah, that's the cool thing about the live streams here, you know, is just, you know, interacting with other content creators and, you know, just hanging out and just kind of getting, you know, just hanging out with other, you know, other people and learning some stuff in the process. It's awesome. That's why I like doing it, because, you know, like I know that like everybody in the chat's a content creator, that they're in a similar grind that I'm in, that they're trying to do the same stuff. And the fact that I can, you know, share some information that might help somebody, you know, cross a milestone somewhere or get the progress that they're trying to get, you know, that's the juice for me. Simply Mayte says, I'm new to YouTube. Congratulations. Welcome to YouTube. High five and fist bump. Welcome to the community. And I'm wanting to find ways to increase traffic to my channel and get feedback on my channel art, thumbnails, titles, etc. So to find ways to increase traffic to your channel, you want to tap into all the stuff that I just talked about. So you want to look at the different traffic sources on YouTube, and you want to try to figure out how to design your content in a way to where you can tap into each one of the YouTube traffic sources. So you want to make sure that your thumbnails have a high click-through rate so you can get put on the home pages and you can use basically all the recommendation features. And then you also want to try to rank videos for search as well. So maybe you don't want to try to rank all your videos for search, but maybe you do, depending on the type of content that you're putting out. But you have to learn how to tap into all of this stuff. It all matters. Let's see here. Can you check my channel? We're not to that part in the show yet. My dog Asti says, what do you use to make thumbnails? I use Photoshop. I recommend Photoshop to everybody. The whole Adobe Creative Suite is incredible. So because of that, you know, I'm definitely in it. Josephine says, hey, could you maybe restart the stream, or will we be able to hear it clearly in the replay? So you can't hear me, Josephine? ProPlays says, is text-to-speak recommended for gaming videos? Text-to-speech. So that's your call. You know, some people do, you know, content with text-to-speech. Totally your call. Personally, I would just talk, like, if you can, because like personality doesn't come out of text-to-speech, but there's some very large channels that just use text-to-speech to explain stuff. So. Let's see here. So Josephine says, Costume CEO, it's like if someone would say, if you want to get $1 million, all you need to do is B and K, get a B, 4 and 12, and then you'll have it. I'm not sure what the conversation was there. Learning about A/B testing in Brian's new course. Nice. Yeah, Brian's getting a lot of really good feedback on his course. So Brian D. Johnson, who was in here before, he actually just put out a training, And in that training, people are really, really digging that that training. Okay, so here's what I'm going to do. We are right now, we are an hour and 23 minutes into this. I'm actually going to take this stream down. I'm going to take it down and I'm going to restart. So I'm going to adjust some settings and stuff. Give me like 10 minutes so that I can fine tune this, and then I'm going to come back in. So I'm going to take this down right now, and then we're going to come back in. And fingers crossed. So we'll see how it goes. So I will be back in just a few. So just hang tight, and you might want to keep an eye on the channel page as well, just in case I don't come back into this particular stream. All right, so now we are back. I'm not sure if you can see me here. If you can see me, just give me a hashtag yes, so that I know that you whoa, so that I know that you can see me. Let me know if the lag is any better, and let me know. Okay, we've got choppy, we've got he's back. So yeah, so just give me some feedback here really quick so I can get an idea of what's going on. I can see here, and it looks like we're still lagging. Pretty hard. It's the same, very choppy. Okay. So we're going to do it again. I'll be right